Alright, I'm making these hunting bands that I use, deep draw. This is just their band, their tube red. There has a TheraBand thing on there, but it's the red. I got 10 feet of it. It's $7.50 for 5 feet, free shipping. And I went through with the ruler, and I marked every 15 inches with a Sharpie. It doesn't have to be exact, because before you make your band sets, you go through and you make sure they're exactly the same length, so you don't have one that's longer than the other. I'm choosing 15 because that way I can get almost full butterfly. I don't really use butterfly, but almost really deep draw. These ones are 12 inches, and I noticed these are they're from the Moon Shoes. I've shot like probably about 5,000 shots through here, and I've only had to shorten them like a couple centimeters because I put it on like a unfinished slingshot, and it was really rough, and it tore up the front a little bit. But they're really tough. They're not the fastest, but I've killed sparrows with them, so they're fast. But these are only 12 inches, and I really can't get deep with them. So 15 inches, and then I need to find scissors. I'm just gonna cut every place I made a mark. These really aren't good scissors. Alright, here's my lengths, and this actually had extra. I guess it had a couple inches extra on it when it shipped, so I'm just going to cut that off. Alright, you can trash your extra. And then here's your band lengths. You can see they're 15 inches, which is substantial. I mean, that'll last. The thing is, when you get them long, like deep draw, and you're out hunting for long periods of times, you don't really need to bring as many extra bands, especially with this. TheraRed it's pretty durable stuff. The amber tubing works better, but it's a heavier draw, but you do get a little bit more speed. This, I get .445 lead at about 220, 230 feet per second. On this deep draw, you can get up to 240 with that 40 lead because it's more acceleration time. And I use a heavy pouch because that actually extends your band length life because it's more taxing to the rubber, so it's actually less wear on it. And yeah, I'm gonna match them up and put a pouch on them, and I'll show you guys the finished product. A couple things I forgot to mention. Even when you have a heavy pouch like this, and as long as you're turning the pouch and you're shooting over the top, I'd imagine it probably works through the forks if you maybe not if you hold it still when you shoot and don't move. But if I usually move out of the way after I shoot. I flip a little bit, but you don't get hand slap because it has all this air resistance from this moving. Not like short bands, where it's just going to continue in a circle and come back and slap you. This is just going to go forward, lose its energy, drop down, and then all you do is you flip it back up however you want, and then you already have a fast reload, just like that. I wish I wouldn't use my phone. I could show you, but and now I have, with not that heavy of a draw, I can kill raccoons, pheasants, turkey. I highly doubt this would kill a deer. I don't know if it would break the skull, but with amber tubes, those big heavy amber tubes like Madison uses, and he uses 58 cal lead. This is only 44 and a half. Uses something big like that, or a big lead musket sabot, or something along the lines of that. You're generating a lot more power, but you're also having a heavy draw. This thing will easily kill a raccoon. I mean, these things are going way faster than shorter bands, just from the acceleration. And also, when you're using big bands like this, you really ought to turn the pouch, as Daryl explains in his videos. Turn it, and then instead of relaxing your hand on the release, let me get this back in the pouch. You need to take your top finger and slide it back. That way, instead of having to tweak the pouch, that works for me. I kept it getting 4 hits on this thing until I started to roll the top finger. That's what most people do, actually. But especially with these, because you have 15 inches where that ball is no longer guided. It's separated from the pouch. And after you release, you're probably going to do some floating. And you don't want your hand, especially wing shooting, you don't want to be floating your hand into that lead when it's in this 15 inches of just no longer being guided by the rubber in the pouch. So if you turn the pouch, it's going to go clean. Your shot, it's going over the pouch several inches. I mean, over the forks, and you're really at no risk of hitting yourself unless maybe you're pulling straight up. But I bet even then these are going fast enough that you wouldn't hit yourself. So yeah, that's it. Thanks. Alright, here's the finished product. We got a heavy boot leather pouch on here. It's thick and it's heavy and it'll last a long time. And then 15 inches of TheraTube red on my quick point. And this is how you get flat band speed out of tubes, is to deep draw. Because, as Madison Parker explains, every time you get something, you give something up. So you're not going to have match sliding accuracy when you're in almost butterfly position. It's not going to happen. But if you, in tubes, big tubes like this, will sling a heavy projectile way faster than flat bands will. However, you can get flat bands that'll do that. It's just you have to layer them, and those really don't last. These, I've got at least 1,500 to 2,000 shots at least out of this band set. Very bare minimum. I mean, when they start to wear out, which takes a long time when you're in deep draw, because you're really not stretching the rubber as much as you would normally, unless you cut them long. But you're giving that lead, your ammo, more time to accelerate, and that's going to exponentially increase the speed, just from physics of how things work. I've got some TheraBand green attaching the pouch in just like that, and then I have some rubber bands keeping these onto here. I have the TrueMark black tubes as grips. I don't like sliding your bands all the way on here, because then all this is just wasted band. So if you just slide down here, and then when it gets old, cut it, slide it back, you get a lot more shots. And I just covered up the shiny part with grips, so nothing sees it, it doesn't flash. This part's still down here, but I'm really not too worried about it, because I'd imagine they're probably going to see me unless I'm in a tree stand bow hunting and a squirrel walks by. The advantage of this is you don't have to get a blunt tip arrow on and then risk having a buck walk by while you have a blunt tip on and then having to try to switch back to your broadhead. Plus this is probably going to be a lot quieter than the arrow smacking the ground, but I honestly don't know. You know what? It'd probably be about the same out of my bow. My bow's, all you really hear is the arrow. It's silent. But this is incredibly fast. I mean, it's nice. Thanks for watching, and subscribe, comment on what you think. But I tried putting these deep trail bands, heavy bands, on the pickle fork, and you really don't have as much strength, really. I mean, just the way you hold a pickle fork, it's more for lighter bands. And then when you have good, solid grip like this, I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe, comment.